late. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm a minute late. I'm sorry about that. Please don't hate me. All right. So, this is the page that I posted today. And, yeah. So, I've been going, tidying the studio, sorting stuff and so forth, and have discovered that I have yet another sketchbook that I didn't realize I had going. I think I'd given up on it, honestly, because, I just, whatever. I think it got stained with water or some such. So I got to fix this squeaky, squeaky chair. Here we go. So I've been doing two things at once on the same piece of paper. Hiya, Liz. Hiya, Linda. Hiya, Tim. All right. So this is a pad of paper that, well, it's not so much a pad as it is a big stack. So this is all kinds of sheets of cardstock and whatnot, and scribbles and doodles. And I've been doing two things at the same time on this bit of paper. One is practicing organic forms bouncing around, and two is testing out different pens with a water brush. So just seeing so I've written down the name of the black sources of ink, and I'm just trying them out to see what does and does not bleed. And so this is me finishing the last bit of that. And then we're going to try some things. I know ballpoint doesn't bleed. All right, so yeah. So this is just loaded with water. And so I'll just, well, that didn't do well. So far it's the Sakura. The Uli's not bad. I can draw with the Uli. So the idea I've got going right now, I'm missing a ton of stuff here. Hiya, Chris. Hiya, Paul. Hi, Vanessa watching TV. We won't be Chatty Cathy today. Oh. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Okay. Hey. So, let's grab a bigger piece of paper. I've got a bunch of projects that I'm finishing off right now, and I'm feeling good about that. Like it's nice when you've got things that you've had on your docket for a little bit, and you can cross those off. Let me tell you how nice having the cordless mic is, because I'm wandering around in the studio right now, and it's a lovely feeling. So, okay, so here's big paper, and Chris will be right back. So I've got a couple things. This is a watercolor pencil crayon that I forgot to. I was teaching a program, and I've had this set it in my pocket while I was teaching, and you just put it in your chest pocket, and then you realize that when you get it at home, whoops. So Paul says that this is a beautiful looking page. Oh, thanks. I've worked so long on it. It's Pointillist, and it was a black piece of paper, and it's now white. White ink Pointillism. I call it Having Fun on a Saturday Night. That's the title. That's the working title. The title's not really working. It's unemployed at the moment, but all right. So here we are. So I'm just matching my little stack of paper up. So now we got a big old double wide sheet. This is 11 across, 17 tall. And you can add your comments to the stream afterwards, says Linda. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out, and I appreciate all the support and the interest. It's very nice. If you know any friends that might be keen as jelly beans to come and hang out with us, feel free to invite them. Eventually, we will have enough of us to take over a country. Oh, Oh, Paul was talking about the one that with waiting on it. oh, that one. Here, I'll show you the original, Paul. How that turned out. As soon as I can remember where I put it. There it is. This is the original finished page as drawn. So I have my camera set up for 11 by 17. Well, it's actually more than that, but you know what I mean. And so this was done with, what we did first was roughed out composition with this. It's a Ecoline brush pen. And very, very, it's a pastel blue. Very soft, very subtle, very much like a highlighter. And we roughed in composition with that. And then we went in with this non-photo blue Pilot, a Pilot mechanical pen. And then we did our emphasis lines with a dark blue from a Pilot mechanical pen. So, yeah. Please take over our country. Oh, Canada. That's how we say it here, by the way. You have to say it that way if you're going to have us come and become your leaders. So, so I thought we'd continue on this little motif that we got kicking around here. What I've got is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. Cadmium Yellow, number 107. And so what I thought we would do is have a go at something. So ideally, Chris says the Blue Pencil World. Yeah, Blue Man Group. No, because some of them have hair. This guy doesn't. He's wearing a weird bodysuit. There he is again. Looks like a monkey. This guy's got hair turned up like Eros or something like that. This guy's in a spacesuit, Jasper Scuzz, and these people are all happy. So, having fun. So, if anybody wants to throw a topic, a subject at me, doesn't matter what it is, just let me know. And that's where we'll start our page today. Just to show, this is me finishing up Stream of Conceitedness. And so this is me mapping out my pages. And there's 3 pages out of this first 25. And 3 pages, well, actually 6 pages out of the next. And then this last bit that isn't shown yet because I haven't printed them and stamped them in is the dance number that I've shown people that I'm working on. You can see one of the pages there. But this is finishing off Stream of Conceitedness, or whatever title it will be once Lori gives it to me, because she doesn't like Stream of Conceitedness. Stream of Consciousness book, and the main character looks like me. Stream of Conceitedness. So if anybody has a subject, feel free to hit me with the subject. Well, don't hit me. I'm sensitive. Feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll go from there. Or you can tell me through interpretive dance, which is going to be a lot harder to see. But I thought what I'd do is just do the composition over these 2 pages. I did this recently with the red pencil drawing, the red world, as Chris would call it. I drew that with a wax, or a China marker, they're called. It's a wax, basically a wax pencil. And so I drew a page recently this way. What I had actually done is drawn it in portrait format on this size, and then realized I wanted to continue the composition over to the next page. In this instance, however, we're going to do it bingo, bango, bongo all at once. So it's just going to be a much larger drawing. And for the time being, I'm going to centralize what it is that we're drawing from whatever subject matter somebody puts in the comments. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I don't want to be the one that does it. Go for it. Be the one that does it. Be a beacon. Be different. I'm hoping that maybe I should use an orange because I don't know necessarily that the yellow really will show. So have I got, yeah, but this is a Fudenosuke orange pen or orange marker. Woo woo! So we'll use that, but let's see what other values I've got in the Faber-Castells. Maybe in the Tombos. Let's see what we got in the Tombos. Do I have a fun orange? Orange, you glad I asked? Aren't you orange, you glad I'm checking? Okay, so, yeah, we got one. All right, well, I'm going to throw the art dice. Oh, hold on. Chris says, I can't do Chris's accent, and I can't do Chris's voice. So please don't think that my reading this is in any way indicative of how she sounds. Yesterday, I was reading about spirits. I think that's not fair. Okay, yesterday I was reading about spirits or souls inhabiting in objects. The Japanese call them Chisuku Mogami. Maybe? In manga, they add 1 or 2 creepy eyes to objects. All right, there we go. We got it. So, all right, and this is a Japanese thing. So let's go for it. Let's just get started on that. I think that's fun. I think that's fun. I can give us a great deal of interesting things to work from here. So let's start by doing a vase. Why don't we do that? That's a great idea, Chris. Okay, I'm glad you like it. So, so what I've got here is this is a Tombow water-based. Oh, I'm sorry. This one's an Arteza. This is not a Tombow. I grabbed a non-toxic Arteza Ultra H2O brush pen. And it also has the marker tip on it, which is why I thought I picked up a Tombow. So, so we'll start here with, if this is our side where our titling is, so we'll start drawing our vase in here like so. There's a bit of schmutz on my marker tip. Schmutz, that's what I call it. It's a scientific term. So I'm going to draw in our vase, and as we're going, we'll start thinking about things that. Is it Japan that does the? I better write down some key things here. Like, what is the word? Chizuku Mogami. Spirits in objects. Okay. All right, so here's where we're going to start. We're going to start by drawing this vase. And so I've got the neck of it coming together, and then we'll flare out. And of course, the challenge that I've just set myself up with here is symmetry. Oh, the nightmare. The nightmare is happening. I have to make this balance. So we'll see how we do. So I think it was last Wednesday that Lori joined me. Super fun. Talking about books that we're reading and things like that. This is terrible. And she's had a really long day today, so a little less Lori today than last week. It was super fun that she came and jumped in on the stream. So we've got our vase coming together, and I'm going to take a little bit of advantage here of the idea of the ornate patterning that would be on the vase. I think I'm going to have it float off of the vase, right? And yeah, let's just play with that a little bit. So we'll put some color in here along the top, and I'll just start drawing in the image, and then we'll just extend it past the edge of the vase. So then as I come in, with the orange or a red or whatever else I choose to utilize tonight. Let's see how carried away we get. We'll start refining this a little bit in a second. But in the meantime, let's play. Ready? Break. Doom, 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 doom. There's a band that I don't mind named Cake, but what I really get a kick out of is I can't tell. I should count one day, but I can't tell you how many times in the course of their albums that they go break in the middle of a song, and then they go off into a bridge or a chorus or something. It just cracks me up. Imagine using an old comb, and suddenly one eye opens up there to see, oh, I'm missing all kinds of stuff. Here I have examples like lamps or umbrellas or buckets, but I just want to make it creepy. One eye is definitely creepy. Oh, that's so good. Okay, well, we're going to try something like that here, but first I'm going to be flourishing and play a little bit, have a little bit of fun. So I'm just going to put some more of these interesting little elements moving across in the environment. So what I'm doing is that I'm thinking of an old Japanese vase and a little scene of mountains and so forth from it, and I'm having it move off of the vase into the space, and then we're going to get into our whole magic eye situation. That's a badly pronounced situation. Okay, so I'm going to grab I've got a red Fidensuke pen. I've got an orange one. I've got a brown one somewhere. Hello, there he is. He was hiding, and we're going to start putting in some details with these. So I'm going to go right in with the brown and start putting some patterns in for our trees, our branches, and so forth. I don't know that this necessarily looks Japanese, but the idea of the vase and that, this is clearly not, there's a softness to Japanese art that this doesn't have. But there's wonderful examples of people that have a similar softness that I do not believe are Japanese, like I think her name is Elisa or something like that. She's very good. She has this really subtle line that she puts down on things. But let's get, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So let's put a little more red into here. Start sectioning out these spaces. So I'm objectively after a goal for the first time. I've learned that there are things that I can do that would make my world easier, running streams through. If I had 500 followers. And so I'm actively saying, hey, tell all your friends. Tell the whole bunch. Whoever's just finished that in their head, you're my people. Okay. I just had a hippopotamus for lunch. All right. So, yeah, if you know anybody that might have fun with us and might have some ideas for suggestions that they think they're going to stump me with, let them try. Please feel free. Let people know. I've been getting some suggestions in, and I am moving on things. I'm trying to catch up on all the other stuff first. So, still have old things from my grandmother. Luckily, they are in boxes. Nice. Okay, so I'm just carrying on our little composition here, filling in remaining parts of the tree, even though we've left the side of the vase, we're spreading them out to over here. My theory, my thinking here is that this is the spirit trying to get out. And it just sort of popped into my head immediately, which is why I thought, as soon as I was drawing the vase, let's have part of the vase get out of it and shake it up. Shake it up. So this is what we're going after here. Not too polished yet, but we'll get there. But always feel free, if you do have a notion that crosses your mind that you're like, yeah, let's see you draw that, dancing boy. A little soft shoe challenge. I do not mind that. So I'm going to draw in some more trees in sort of a Japanese approach to it, but not really, because by no means is my style reminiscent of Japanese art. It's far more pretty than this blunt tool that I use. So hopefully it's starting to look like a scene now. Put a couple little details over on this side. And the idea here is that by having the image locked in on the one side and breaking out on the other may well help to explain a little more visually what's going on. So yeah, that's the idea. So having this over here should make this, yeah, that's the theory. So I haven't put any background in. I've just been focusing on foreground elements. A little thumbnail kicking around here of a vase, and well, a bunch of vases. I'm picking and choosing what I want from, the rough shapes of different things. So I don't know that that's going to make it look more or less Japanese-ish. So I was testing out which inks hold their consistency with water, because I want to really, really step up on ink work. Tomorrow, however, I am going to be doing a page on a jelly-plated surface. So I haven't done one in a little hot minute, and it's about time. This marker may have well have had its day. So we're going to get out of it what we can here, and then I'm going to go find another brown similar to this one. So hopefully this is looking okay. What is it? What even is that? I don't know. Soup? It's a little, I think this feels like I'm making it look a little more Dutch than I am Japanese, but bear with me, folks. I'm just a boy. Just a big old pile of bricks. Okay, so now we've got the details that are breaking off the side of the vase and finding their way out into the world. And I think, so my plan is to put emphasis on the exterior of the vase, and so that this will help to sell that these things are past the edge. So I think what I'll do for that is this brown, but I'm going to put a blue line. I believe I have a blue Fiden pen as well somewhere. And if not, I've got another blue marker that we'll use. And you put the one over the other and you get closer to a charcoal color. So here's hopefully what's going to help to make some sense of our erupting composition. And then I'd like to make an eye, like turn this into a spirit. Trying to break free here in just a second. Just a second, please. I'll check my. What the heck is that? Oh, okay. So, yeah. So if anybody has any thoughts or questions, let me know. Chris, why? Or I got a question. Why? The last person asked that question. And then we'll put some more of these leaf shapes. And this is what I'm going to carve an eye out of, is the leaf shape breaking out. So let's, before I do that, let's do a couple things here. Yeah, just a second. I'm going to go and see if I can find this. I'll walk by it at noisy. Noisy part of the basement. I was just in the library. Now I'm walking in. So we're going to do a thing in the library now where Lori and I have two wingback chairs where we can sit beside one another and chat in camera. And so when I have guests over, and I'm going to record some videos where I'm chatting with them, and then I can edit that so I can put images of their work or whatever it is that we're talking about between us. And make proper big boy videos. Okay, so this is one of the, what is it called? A HEMA pen that Lori brought back from the Netherlands when she was there with family. So this is a blue. But as I described a few minutes ago, going over the brown with it makes it look like a nice deep charcoal color. So hopefully that's easy to see. So I've got a lot more details to put in here as well, but now we've got our vase. It's still floating in space, but we've got our vase. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy and we'll put, we're going to make a crazy eye. And similar to the pattern that we have with our leaves here. But hopefully you can see it there. So let that dry down a little bit. So yeah. So here's our panel. Here's our panel 1 coming together now. And so I'm going to come in with this red. Now in the text we're going to describe spirits and objects. You're going to have to read up a little bit about, so I'm not talking out my ear. But hopefully you'll start to see the eye that's coming out of it there. There's a fun thing that artist Keith Giffen would do in stories where he would always have monsters that were really just a smile that would just float in the air and come charging at people. It's kind of neat. Colors are good enough. First, the yellow layer was too pale. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Okay, sorry, same thing. Pulling prints is always fun. There we are. Good observation, Chris. That's a great idea for videos. There's a ghost inside. It can float. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know if I'm going to actually make any jelly plating surfaces. I've got a bunch of them that I'm just going to use for drawing on. We'll see. Who knows? It's me. Maybe we'll just print some more, but I've got some that I have available to utilize at this point. So I'm putting, extending these details out here, but I'm going to go back into this space and besides where the edge of this was. So yeah, here we go. A little bit more of the creepy details, making a run for it. What did the criminals say at the stocking factory when they were trying to commit a robbery? Cops showed up, so they shouted, "Leg it, boys." That's so bad. So dumb. You only come here for the dumb jokes. Well, that's all you're going to get. So here's our organic shapes. Our tree just sort of taking on its own life. I had a productive day of getting some things done and got all the laundry in the house done and some household things. The joys of working at home. Can you still see the eye there? I think I'm going to need to put some more emphasis, some of these shapes to build around that, and that might help. There we go. So I'm just putting in some marks here, which can also contribute to the shape of the eye area, hopefully. I think it's kind of looking like one. We're trying. Oh, excuse me. Making all this noise right beside the mic. Ouch. Hello, Seven. Welcome aboard. No wonder it smells like fresh linen with lavender. Boy, where are you? How close are you right now, Seven? Oh, Corbin saying hi. Hi, bud. So now that it's trailing away far enough, now hopefully the idea that the pattern is breaking off of the vase and going for a runner. I just imagine this object talking to an old candle holder. Very scary. Okay, we'll do that. And Corbin, Chris says meow. You have anything to say to that, bud? That's the sound of Corbin smelling a mic. No comments. No comments from the peanut gallery. Yeah, so I'm trying to stretch these details and these marks that we've made. We're trying to stretch those and have them break off a little bit more as we go. Like it's making a leg. Yeah, and maybe we'll have it have a conversation with the candle. So maybe what we should do is draw this on a table. Maybe that's a plinth or some kind of structure, We'll see. We'll see what we're doing here. We're cooking with the gasoline now, folks. All right, so we'll put some sunny highlights down here, down in the bottom. We'll get these highlights in here. And today's drawing is brought to you by AI, my artificial intelligence. That's not, yeah. Automatic indigestion, AI. Automobile incontinence. We're just going to keep going with this. Astrological interference. Anybody? Let's take back those 2 letters, folks. So hopefully this I think we need a second eye. I really do. I think there needs to be a second. I think there needs definitely to be a second eye. Uh-oh. Lucy's with us now, too. Couple more little bits up here, like they're in the leaves and in the trees here, and yeah, it's feeling much better. I'm going to come in with the orange in a second. Just little organic shapes that reminiscent of what's going on in the trees on the vase. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate another value in here just to just to destabilize the composition as it moves across. Makes a little more sense, maybe. See what color this is. Not quite, but we're going to use this one. So I'm going to fill in this area up here a little bit more. This is a Staedtler. These are my little quick scribble doodle sketchbook markers that I've just grabbed for whatever reason, and they are dying. They're almost out of the battle here. But that's okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. I don't know. Is this working for folks? Is this looking like a something, like a thing maybe? Hopefully. Throw a little bit of that down here in the bottom. We'll come back in with the other thing because this guy's cooked, I think. You must go out to the pasture. You must go into the deep fields to join the elders in marker heaven. Yeah. All right, so I'm coming in with an orange now. This is another Fidemusuke pen. And I'm going to heighten up some of some of our elements in here. I have to make that turn into something. So as it's, my idea is that as it's moving off of the vase, it's taking on different characteristics. So we'll see. This is a pretty lively marker, so it's going to be hard to do some soft blending. So I'm going to have to get creative. Oh, no, not creative. We'll do it. We're all right. So this might make a little more sense out of things. And then I'm going to draw some more of the trees and bits with the orange as well. Let's see, what have we got? I'm sorry, I'm missing stuff here. Oh, I've got a head cold. Bring the medicine to have these ideas. Oh my gosh. You can get some loopy ideas, headache medication. I'm in the kitchen making serious beef stew. Nice. Oh my goodness, look at all those ingredients. Everybody, go to Seven's Place. We're having stew. Do you have or use the erase pens or even erase at all? There's no erase function on this marker. You know. Let AI do it. Yeah, I erase things all the time. But you can't erase markers. You can throw white over top of them and stuff like that. And we may well do something like that in a moment. I was thinking, actually, of putting some flecks of, like, little, of orange or something, or a yellow in the background. We'll see. So this is what I meant by adding in more elements as we go. and a little more as we go along, so that the orange starts to dominate the marks that are off here. Just to, I don't know, give it a little something, a little bit more of a kick. Uh-oh. Linda likes the idea of that beef stew. Hope you got a lot of bowls. I mean, we're all coming. Beef stew at Seven's house tonight. We're having some beef stew at Seven's house tonight. So there's some interesting things going on. Lots of people doing some cool art and some cool projects that I've been noticing. And I think that there's an artist who I really enjoy his illustrative style. Pascal Ferry is his name. Maybe it's Pasquale, I'm not sure, but he's been doing putting together a project called Alice. Sort of a sci-fi. It looks Alice in Wonderland-ish. You know, there's a lot of those elements in there. But it looks like he's about done. I am very much looking forward to that. There's somebody whose work, that's a guy whose work I like. I like a lot of people's work, but there's somebody that, you know, there's all of the factors are there, if you know what I mean. So this is hopefully going to make a little more sense. As a face, right? That's the spirit face that we're talking about. And then we're going to have to put, what was it? A candelabra? A candle? What was it? This object talking to an old candle holder. Very scary. Yeah, we'll put the candle holder right here in just a second. Let's just do it now. Anybody know what a candle holder looks like? I'm thinking like a little handheld one, right? You know, like just an old kind of thing you see in Hammer horror movies where somebody's walking around a dungeon. I guess not a dungeon, but more like a Victorian manse or something. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay. Has it got a candle in it? That's $1 million question. We'll put it here in the foreground. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to rough the shape in. I think it's going to be bereft of candle, without candle. So similar. I like this idea because they're similar in size, right? But very different in origin. If I knew Japanese, I would even have the Japanese spirit speak in Japanese. Just, you know. Dear me, old Pip, I've no idea what you're speaking of. What? Is this the candelabra? So big old Frenchie. French curve. I'm going to come in here. I've been doing pretty opaque application. And that handle, I'll have to come in and cut out some whites there. This might end up just being a portrait page. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think there'd be a flare off of that, maybe, just to give it a little more character. And let's do this. Only got a whole bunch of stencils nearby that I could be drawing proper ovals. What a goofy person. Just do it by hand. Because that makes no sense at all. I think Corbin wants to have story time with everybody in a second here. So this is a little tray to collect all of the wax. Oh, it's terribly drawn. Terrible. Oh, am I missing stuff? I'm terribly sorry. Oh, looking good. I like the color scheme. Okay. Candle holder. Old. Nice. I have one with 4 candles made of ceramic. Nice. Figures dressed like the French Revolution. There you go. Could do that with Google Translate, I think. Let me finish reading my quizzes. I'll look into it. Oh, nice. That's good. So if I get one of those tattoos on the back of my neck or whatever, and I do it in a foreign language, I'm not going to have somebody tattoo the word soup on my back. Oh my God, you're so rebellious. What does your back say? It says, rebellion. And then somebody walks over to me from the land of origin of the word that I have tattooed on my back and says, your back actually says wontons on sale. I knew that, but it's rebellious to put it on there. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm rebellious. That's why my friends call me El Lobo, El Bronco. So here's our base layout for our candle holder. I'm going to really come in here with the orange. We're going to change this up a little bit from the vase. But, so now I'm going to start picking out emphasis points, making considerations about leaving out. It's hard to see with the yellow, I know, and it's very uniform, but there's decisions being made here that leads into all these next things that I do. Like where some of the highlights are going to be, and we're going to add a little emphases. So here's our candle coming in the shape now. This was a bright idea. Thank you very much. Try the veal. Wacka, wacka, wacka. Is it looking like a candle? Maybe. Just close your eyes and see if you can smell the wax that has been, cooking in this thing for many a long year. Patience is king. It's a real problem for me working on anything is that I get impatient. And so I'll have an intended idea with something. And then the impatience kicks in. I'm like, oh, no, we're going to go this way now. And that does not help. Cool, warm colors and elegant. You can travel to a true French cafe if you want croissants at a French bakery. Oh, yes, I guess I could. Google Translate to add Japanese characters and texts. Ooh, nice. I'm going to have this spirit here say, buy one wonton, get second one free. You're going to get something tattooed in another language. Make people wonder why and what you mean by, why do you have Donny Osmond and Kanja on your back? I really like the Osmond family. I thought it said freedom. I wouldn't get that. Get the Partridge Family, something from them. I think I love you. What am I so afraid of? That band was not respected in its time. Draw and sip white wine. Last chilled and opened on Valentine's gift early. Nice job, Laz. Well done, Laz. See, here's our old bronze or whatever this is candle set. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of shadow under here. Oh, he's talking. The cats have been really funny. They know roughly what time. When Lori's working downtown in the office, they know roughly what time it is that she's coming home. And they clearly get excited. It's very fun. Now that I've said this, they're probably going to be like, no, we don't. You know how cats are. They just got to argue. I like watching Laura Caldwell for pottery design. She's a reseller and really knows a lot about pottery. And those designs are so good. Oh, cool. Have to check out Laura Caldwell. I keep meaning to look up this person's name of who I really enjoy. Bless you, Corbin. Good heavens. Lucy, did you bless Corbin? Lucy? Oh, she's going to keep an eye on him. Ruth, something. I have to look her up, but I'm really impressed by her printing. And the best part of it is that she has a little studio that appears to be 4 feet by 6 feet. Is the whole of her studio in her backyard. Do you have or use it wooden handle type thing that somehow changes the size of an image? No clue what it's called. Yeah, in Photoshop, sure, but it doesn't work. What's that called? Lasso? I think it's the lasso tool. The lasso tool. So here's just adding some more interesting colors and stuff to our copper-ish thing. And I want to apply with the allocation of the lines that I'm putting down that it's slightly concaved. There is a little dip into it. Into which the wax shall fall. Done. You can find the message on Instagram to read later. From English to Japanese. Nice. Pantograph. Nice. It's called the pantograph. The wooden handle bead type thing that somehow changes the size of an image. Nice. So, next I'm going to add in a little bit of a light brown, just to sort of play up our copper idea. But first, let's give some shape to this. Nori was working hard today. She came home and just, you can tell she's been doing tons and tons of stuff. Watching a crime show. There's the crime show that we were watching was not good at being very clear and explaining who is this, what are they, how are they connected to them, what's happening with now, you know. And so it was like an exercise in us trying to keep up with whatever's going on this thing. Oh, goodness. You know, the two of us are watching together. Super nice shading. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to have to come over here and take a look. See if I have. Oh boy, do we ever. I went over and I grabbed the Artezas and Tombos that I have in one of my. If you in videos where the camera is facing me, you'll see all of these trays, these long, skinny trays on shelves behind me, and all of them are full of this sort of assortment. And I track the colors and the companies and things like that with them. But this is the majority of this, the Arteza part of it anyways, is flesh tones that I bought. And yeah, well, we're using it for a lamp. I really want to do the shading. I made a street scene and my perspective and shading was just awful. Oh, thank you, Seven. I'm gonna travel the whole world. Yeah. So one of the things that you might want to try is that if you've laid out your composition before you do the shading, right? Sit down. Like if you can put your drawing on the window and then put another piece of paper over it, and then try figuring out the shading on that piece of paper. You know. And if there's parts that work, circle them. If there's parts that don't work, cross them out. And then take another piece of paper and switch that out instead, and then try shading on that one. And eventually, you will find the shading that works. Right, Lucy? Right? I got a little squeaking Magoo here with me. I'll let her say hi in a second. This might be a little too deep, this bronze, so I'm pulling back on where I didn't initially intended to use it. So I'm thinking about the different shapes that make up the candle holder. I'm going to look for one step down from this, as far as it goes for a nice light brown. Do we have one? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's see how this bad boy does. Bad boy, here it is. This is what I was looking for initially. So this is just sealing the deal on our bronze candle holder. And the idea is, in my head anyways, of course with the neck, out comes the spirit, right? I think that using a plastic page overlay, I forgot about that. Yeah, windows are the greatest light box there is, right? The divine light box, as it were. So yeah, hold up. It doesn't matter how many pieces of typewriter paper you go through. Don't be like, oh, I've gone through 4 pieces of paper. That's fine. That's helping you along your way. So give yourself that opportunity, and it may well solve the dilemma. So this is our little brass candlestick, candle holder. Kind of thing you need to go down the spooky hall where there's like totally some ghosts, dude. Right, roasts? Yeah, I'm feeling better about that now. There, Chris says you can also use tracing paper. Nice. Okay, there we go. We've come up with some ideas. Good team. Go team, go. Go team, go. So I'm going to jump in a second with, throw a couple of little white bumps in here as well. Now for that area that I've ignored entirely. All right, so one more thing. So on the other, there it is. I'm going to put a really thin dark brown line here, and I'm going to come in with that blue that I did. So it puts this sort of charcoal, not all the way black, but dark enough to trick people into thinking it is.
Blacker than black stairs, duckas, and a starless prairie night.
Oh, Seven Lake Mashaggy impression. How'd you know that was me? That could have been Corbin.
Ah, you silly marker. So just hitting all those emphasis points.
Lucy, leave that alone. Hey, leave that alone. She's over here causing trouble. I don't know why she's over here harassing me. I must have went to bed. So this is the last little bits of business in here to apply that. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. This guy is about had it. So there's a whole bunch of different things in here, different brands. Till I get that sponsorship.
Hi, I'm Chris Runsman, and I only use Kablocklick markers. Kablocklick markers are the best markers that suit my purpose. Try Kablocklick markers. It's the mark that I'd like to make on this world.
Corbin doing voiceover. Hold on, we got a visitor. You coming in? She's sitting right here. You gonna say, hey? You gonna say hi? Hi, everybody.
No, not interested.
No, she's just mad at me now. Can I have the blue? Thank you.
I got Lucy's hair everywhere. Get out of the way.
Yeah, I really enjoy these HEMA fine point markers. They're really nice. She brought me home a dozen. I'm down 5. I'm really putting them to task. So I'm trying to go over areas that I've got that deep brown there, so that, joins in with that.
Corbin has improved. He must be taking classes.
Lucy, Chris just told you to be nice. Huh? You just got told to be nice.
It's a very clean candle holder. Yeah, and there's no candle in it.
This is the thing that you find at the antique place, and blow all the cat hair off a bit, and
the dust.
Lucy.
Just being a stinker.
This is the silliest thing, but I don't know if other people do this. But this is one of the ways that I disrupt cats fighting. I put a measuring tape between them. And they're both like, oh no, it's the measuring tape. We gotta go. It works. So, as delicate as I'm being here with drawing this, I mean, the dialogue that's going through my head is, the vase whispering, "Psst, hey, hey, Larry, wake up. Huh? What? Check it out. I'm off the vase. You're going to get in trouble for that." That's the dialogue goes through my head. Nothing too profound. It's imperfection that makes it wonderful. We knew that's you, then not AI. Not aptitudinal impetuousness. Nice. Kika's getting mad at you, Lucy. Okay, so we've got our candle holder. I'm going to put a couple of white little spots in here. I don't know if they'll even show up for folks, but I know they're there, and that's what counts. So I'm using a jelly. Lucy, she's just picking fights. She's just getting mad at Corbin because whatever. I don't know that she even has a reason half the time. Clean up our lip. Adding a little emphases around there. I'll tighten up over here. Okay, and then that's a couple things in the handle. Just to give it to spruce up that goose. Okay. That's enough. Put your pens down. All right. Tape measure of peace will save the day. I measure the distance between them. I say, yeah, it's not enough inches. All right, so I've got, trying to think of what the color was that I used earlier. Too many choices. What color are you? Nope. All right, well, I'm going to come through here and more value into the neck here, more solid. If you can make the parts that you were meant to be identifiably real look identifiably real, the surreal aspects that happen in a composition, the weird stuff, stands out more. Like it does sell itself a little bit better. Because if you can look at something and go, that's how it's supposed to be, and then you see the thing and you go, that's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, you'll do. Okay, so this, I'm just trying to shade the orange in a little bit more. Too much moisture on this cardstock. Okay. So we've got our two items. Need more punch on this front line. There we go. Trying to change the shape of that. So here's our two items, and we've got the one spirit coming off of this one. The problem with drawing a lot of the background part is that it's going to take away from our foreground. So I'm trying to think of how I can go about doing that as I'm laying this all out. Let me see. What color are you? I'm this color. Okay. So yeah, with the vase, I'm just throwing in a couple more little values into it. Just trying to give a little more shape to the vase itself. And I just need to think about, see, this would be a really subtle, like a subtle gray would be in there in that area. So how do I put that down? And I think that maybe the answer is to just do something like this. Yeah, maybe. And that's some more marks over on that side to balance this out a little bit better. So hopefully our face is starting to sell itself a little bit easier. Maybe a mouth. Maybe it needs a mouth. I don't know. But there's our first object talking to our second, and now we just need to contextualize them. A little bit of a scene, really. You know? So I'm thinking I'll use this one. And maybe what I'll do, yeah, so this is going to need to have a little bit of shading around the outside edge here. Cats have curled up together. Ridiculous. She's just mad at him because she wanted to sit with him and he wouldn't let her. Okay, so now I'm going to put them on a surface. But, Chris, but why? Because I want to. So here's the tricky business. All right, so I'm putting here it is. So I'm putting these guys on a mantle. That's the theory there. Okay, so the idea that I have here is that these are two objects on a mantle in a house. And so here they are carrying on, having their little adventure. And I've only used half the page of an 11 by 17. So we have just as much open to use. So what I can do really is to start having some conversation between the ghosts, and maybe, I don't know, maybe tell some bad puns, but trying to I could use a ruler. That would make some sense, but does Christopher ever do anything that makes sense? No. So, trying to feasibly come up with some sort of approach to contextualizing these different things and the adventures that they may well have, or at least the setting for their conversation, right? I'll show you a fun trick. This is a terrible trick. Let's see if I can do it. It's a carpenter's trick. It sounded terrible. You run your fingers along the side of a stack of paper like this, okay? So this part of your finger is running along the paper, and then you're using this finger flat on the paper, and then keeping it consistent as you make a straight line moving up the side of the paper. Yeah, great, Chris. That was fantastic. I'm just doing my best. Okay, so here's now the thing with all of this, so it's not distracting. I'm only going to use really this color for anything behind these things, because the whole point is for the focus to be on the objects themselves, almost like they're vibrant and glowing, alive, and nothing else is. So I'm just trying to think of some wood grain. But the directional lines along the side here let you know that this is a horizontal. Oh, I'm sorry, a vertical. And to do something similar here would let you know that this is the horizontal. The flat surface as opposed to the upright surface. Same thing up here. So sometimes just think about, in your drawing, just think about environments and think about context and think about where would you find the vase, which is very close to the edge now that I realize it, and the candle holder, very close to the edge. This is dangerous. It's a vase on the edge. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Whoops. Well, why don't we just do it freehand? That's just as good. Just having fun. Just having some fun. It's what am I missing? How did you come up with a tape measure? I mean, and I use a water sprayer on the budgie. It turns out she loves the water. Oh yeah, because I had it handy. I had a tape measure nearby, and they were being trouble. So I literally just pulled out some tape and I shook it at him, and that was enough to make him go, "What is that?" and take off. So now whenever I pull it out, they're like, "Oh, it's that thing." So I book a creepy Japanese objects from manga. Stream early. Chris streams early Saturday at around 8 a.m. EST. Oh, and there's a link. Look at that. There you go, folks. Look it up in the chat. It's dangerous if a cat is around. It can be. It sure can be. They are going to do the things that they feel compelled to do, and they're not overly concerned if that is a container of water nearby your drawing. To them, that's an objective. So just putting in our loose backgrounds, and I think that I'll just draw like a Victorian room, Victorian setting or something like that. So there's, I better put, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to be really cheeky. This is the brick wall that's underneath the mantle. I know you're like, really? So yesterday. Okay, so there's our first stab at our page. And thank you very much, Chris, for the idea of Tsuku. Oh my goodness. Tsukumogami. Terrible, terrible pronunciation. Spirits in objects. And so the idea is that this is the spirit spilling out of this object and trying to, see what's going on with the old candelabra. What are you doing over there? Hey, you don't have any candle in you, do you? What are you missing there, Buckaroo? That's not very handy to have a candle holder sitting there with no candle nearby. What if the lights go out? Anyhow. All right, so there's what we've come up with tonight, folks. I hope this was of interest to people. But I initially considered doing a large drawing, very loose, large drawing over 2 pieces of paper, but it quickly turned into Chris having too much fun with markers. And that's okay. That's fine. That's okay. But this is what I'll get done for tomorrow. And the page that I posted from yesterday is, hopefully this isn't going to flare out. Waiting. You will eventually have to line up for something. It's inevitable. You're not alone. Almost there. I'm very excited. Me too. You know what? I'd hate to be in that line over there. Huh? Are they lined up too? Hi! Typical Christopher nonsense. All right, and then there's our page form that we were working on tonight. It's a little yellow because of the light, but yeah, it's on. I'm telling you, it's on white paper. I got to sort out my lighting and my sound in this room. That's for sure. Okay, well, that's it for me tonight, gang. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I hope that you're having fun in your creative exploration and trying different things out and seeing what what gels for you. If there's any medium that you want me to use during a stream that you do this page with that thing, okay, then let me know and I'll try it. And if that helps with any thing you're trying to figure out yourself in your process, great. I don't mind at all. But in the meantime, I know. Tomorrow I'll be posting the ink page that I finished, the black and white ink thing that we were doing yesterday.
That'll be tomorrow's page. And then this, well, maybe I'll just do both. But yeah, so I will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST. So 12 noon. So yeah, I hope to see you there. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a great evening. Bye for now. Thanks to very much to everybody for coming out. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the moderators with the mostest that come and help me out so much. And I appreciate all of you. And Liz, the superstar, who just joined our Patreon. And yeah, everybody for coming out. Thanks very much, gang. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.